Hello and welcome back to ENG. And in the previous video we learned the figures of speech simile. A figure of speech is a literary device used by speakers and writers to express an idea more effectively. In this video, let us learn the next figure of speech, the metaphor. What is this metaphor? A figure of speech stating that two things are similar. Metaphor is a figure of speech which states two things are similar. It is a comparison without as or like. We compare a thing to the other without using the word as or like. In other words, we can call metaphor an implied simile. Have a look at the examples. He was a lion in the battle. Look at the sentence here. He and the lion. He was a lion in the battle. He is assumed to be the lion in the battle. He is not like the lion, but he is assumed to be the lion in the battle. The next example, education is a passport for employment. Education is not like the passport, but it is the passport. It is assumed to be the other. So, metaphor is one which we assume one thing to be the other. Now, this will be better when we see it in comparison with the simile. This one is an example for metaphor. The rain came down in long knitting needles. The rain came down in long knitting needles. This is a metaphor. This is an example for metaphor. And the example for simile, the rain came down like long knitting needles. So this is compared using the word like in the simile. But in the metaphor, we don't have this like. So this rain is compared to the knitting needles. Here it is like the knitting needles. Another example for metaphor, language is the roadmap of a culture. Language is the roadmap of a culture. And simile, language is like a roadmap of a culture. So we have used like in the simile, and in the metaphor that is missing. Next example for metaphor, Nancy is a rabbit. Maybe she runs like a rabbit or she's very active like a rabbit. In simile, Nancy is like a rabbit. So we use like. So metaphor is an implied simile and it is a comparison without using like or as. A metaphor can be used as a simile and a simile can be used as a metaphor. Metaphor and simile depends on the mood of the writer. Well, in this video we learned the figure of speech, metaphor, and we understood the differences between a metaphor and a simile. If you like this video, kindly subscribe the channel and also share the video to those who may find it useful. Thanks for watching.